Today is another day where I'm doing some crazy stuff to try to see if I can, just in general, experimenting with different things. Specifically today, we're doing multi-streaming. We scaled up dramatically. We have now TikTok, and we now have multi-streaming both vertical and horizontal formats on both YouTube and Twitch. Don't know how that's going to go, but that's how it is right now, and I don't even know how chat's going to run. I'm worried because this could go wrong in a multitude of ways, but that's the fun of it. I'm going to get the streamer bot and speaker bot. I was not able before stream to actually get, what's its face? The 11 Labs voices for the speaker bot. So that is still going to be a work in progress. I still want to work towards that. I hear some kind of notification, but I don't know what it is. JT Gibbs. JT Gibbs got first. Congratulations. I don't know. I don't see your chat, though. Hello, Miles. How's it going? Welcome back to stream. I don't like where that text box is. Let me fix that. I don't even know. Vertical format is going to be... It's going to be different. It's going to be new. Hello, JT Gibbs. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. We're playing this by ear in the worst sense of the word. But let me get the voices working before anything else, because I think that is a pretty high priority. Starting the server, hopefully that just connects. Maybe. I think it's connected. JT Gibbs, try saying something. Also, because at least YouTube, I feel like I have moderate faith that it works. TikTok, I have zero idea if it's going to work. So TikTok is going to be a very different story. Can I see? Am I even live on TikTok? Interesting. Am I actually live? It says I'm live.
Noah Tipton ED5Q says banana.
Hello, Noah. How's it going?
W4Y says hi.
Hello, Keith.
KJ8181 says hi.
Hello.
Isabella Escobedo 2011 says hi.
Hello, hello, hello. A lot of people on the YouTube side today.
Keith W4Y says hello. Keith W4Y says hell. Keith W4Y says hello.
Okay. We have a lot of people over on YouTube.
Keith W4Y says G.
Now let's not get too crazy on...
W4Y says G. Kevin Lucas 8546 says hi.
Okay. A lot of people on YouTube today.
JT Gibbs says hello everyone.
Hello everyone! But anyways, so today is
Keith W4Y says hi.
I'm going to pause you guys for a second. Today is day one of the GM...
_Daygod says my friend, hello from India. Do Thug Shaker.
No, not today.
Keith
I don't even know.
W4Y says hi.
I don't even know what that is. How am I? I'm doing well. I'm going to pause the chat for a second because we do need to talk a bit about what's going on stream today. And also, this is actually a pretty good edge case because I can kind of see how big the chat is. Okay, we have somebody who we probably should ban. That's fun. 1 second. Did not think we would be starting off the stream this way, but it is where we are. Okay. Let's start by... I don't know. I'm not sure I banned them. It's whatever. It is what it is. I can live with it. Shout out. We're not really doing shout outs. We're more doing game development here. But regardless. So today is day one of the gmtk game jam. So that means we have a new challenge, and the challenge today is going to be countdown. That's a challenge. I'm going to bring it up so you guys can take a look at it, and you can guys kind of see where we are at as of right now. Let me quickly get rid of a lot of these tabs and stuff that don't need anything, and let's... Okay. Let's do here. Again, we're doing a lot of interesting things today, so I'm going to see if I can get this to work. Let's switch over to... I'll make a new window, whatever. But yes, so Countdown is the Game Jam Challenge. You know what? We're going to just start brainstorming. So, the Game Jam is Countdown. We have to think about what we're going to make for this Game Jam. You subscribed? I didn't get a notification on subscription. Interesting. Okay. Do I not get notifications on subscribers? I don't know. But anyways, okay. I'm getting sidetracked really badly. So, the Game Jam, also this chat thing is kind of in the way. So, what we need to do is we need to make a game about Countdown. Also, is anyone else joining us for the GMTK this year, or is it just JT Gibbs and hopefully Songer? Again, I don't know. I don't see subscriber counts. It's very interesting. I don't know. Again, I'm trying to figure out how all these things work. I'm not going to... Here we go. So, here's the itch page, and we're going to look at... Gotta move this down a little bit. Let's bring it back here. So, GMTK Jam. The theme for this jam is going to be Countdown, with the recommendations being countdown to 0, numbers going down, time going backwards, etc. So JT Gibbs says that I am hopefully hard to come up with an idea. Also, before anything, let me see if the issue was... There might be a source issue for... Is there a thing on Streamlabs for... Not chat highlights, sub goals, media share. Oh, this is alert box? Okay, so I think I have an alert box now. And hopefully now, if there's a subscriber, I'll be able to see it. Put it right here, and the alert box is in this corner here. Anywho, back to what we were talking about. So, the theme is GMTK. The GMTK theme is Countdown, and we need to come up with a game idea for this. Also, I'm going to join the Discord for it in a second as well. So JT Gibbs has come up with an idea. Yes, probably should. Let's try to pull our brains together and figure out what we're going to be doing here. The voting criteria are creativity, enjoyment, narrative, artwork, and audio. And I did, before actually, I did some research before the stream. And one thing I did notice was that previous game jams... narrative was one of the weaker, like the winners did not have good narrative scores. So I feel like that is that is something I'm not going to focus as much on, as more so focus on making an interesting game mechanic. That is probably the better way to go. This jam is against AI. We are allowed to use pre-existing code and assets that we have the rights to use. Obviously, family-friendly content. They just want keyboard and mouse. We're going to do it anyways. They don't care about mobile. And okay. No real limitations outside of that. So it's very simple. There's also no real prizes as far as I'm aware. Yeah, there's not really any prizes here. This is more so just for the fun of it and maybe perhaps a shout out down the line. But that is something that I was kind of expecting. It is a extremely massive game jam. And it's more so for bragging rights and nothing else. So JT Gibbs was thinking something with a card game like Uno, but having to count down. I was thinking about along the lines of some kind of countdown mechanic as well with cards and stuff. But I don't know. Part of me is worried that it doesn't follow the spirit of it as much. Hello, Simon. I do remember you, actually. I recognize your name. Hello, Songer. How's it going? Welcome back to stream. I'm kind of worried because I feel like if I start up the chat thing right now, we're going to get a lot of chats, including some that I don't want to be. Here, I might just reset this thing. I might actually just turn off chat for today because it is, or the TTS chat today because of the multi-streaming capabilities. But I'm doing well, and we're starting up a new game jam, so... Have you heard the news, Songer? Have you heard the news today about the new game jam theme and everything else? YouTube isn't like super popular anymore. I think it is. I still get good metrics on it. As far as I feel like my content fits YouTube's style very well for whatever reason. Also, I know you guys can't hear me very well. Let me do this so you can kind of hear me. But yeah, so I feel like YouTube is pretty popular. It's more so that it's also very congested. Thank you for the congratulations on 655 subs. It was a long... It took me a while to get there. Honestly, this page is kind of boring. We're going to switch back to looking at... Last time I was here, you weren't at 655. Yeah, I gained like 70 in the last like month, which is good. But I have still a long way to go. Got a lot to do. A lot of work. I might do like video editing on stream at some point because, I mean, at this point, at this stage of the game, I need growth beyond anything else. But regardless, let's open up Krita really fast. I'm also gonna... 1 second. Let's do this and this. I'm going to set up... I have this thing that's called Wayless, which lets me use my iPad as a drawing pad. It's really nice, actually. Very, very useful. Very useful tool. Okay. Also, I probably should check on TikTok. I don't know if the chat is working. I'm a little worried. So JT Gibbs also had an idea about a vampire game where the main character being Countdown. That's pretty funny. I like that, actually. No, don't apologize, Zonger. No obligation. We're all just chilling here and brainstorming and having a good time. No reason to feel bad whatsoever. But anyways, yeah, I think having a vampire-esque game would be pretty funny too. I think it also fits within the theme. The theme is Countdown, so can I please draw? 1 second. My pen is out of battery. But yeah, the theme is Countdown, and the examples were like a ticking clock, or literally a count being down. So like a prince of nobility being downed. It could also be something along the lines of like a bomb or something else. There we go. So count down also. Today I also tried something new for those who weren't here at the very beginning. Today we're live in a lot of locations. Being hyper simplistic is a maze searching for numbers too literal. I don't think so. I think that's a valid thing. I think you might need some mechanic to spice it up a little bit. I feel like just a maze with yeah, no, today is kind of crazy. I don't see it myself being live on the actual TikTok studio. Or like, do you guys see me being live? Or is it... I'm kind of worried that I might be missing something on TikTok. I'm gonna chat in... Wait, how do I mute myself? Okay, there we go. Let's see if this... I'm theoretically... Okay, I think I am live on TikTok. I don't see the TikTok chat on... Okay, that's actually rather concerning. Yes, it's working, but the chat isn't. So that's going to be a problem and a half. Well, it's whatever. Today is very experimental. Yeah, I can see the chat when I have the TikTok page open itself. I don't see it on Streamlabs. Which, again, right now, I feel like as long as I have it open somewhere, it's fine, but definitely not where I want it to be. I gotta figure out, this entire streaming thing needs a complete rework, for sure. So one of my ideas for the game was kind of a platforming game where you try to get to like keys and stuff, and if you get to different stuff, you extend your time. So like you can bounce around, get to a key, and if you get to the key, you get like an additional 5 seconds, which you can use to try to get to a different spot. And the point of it is to extend the amount of time in the countdown. Another idea I had was a game where you have like a small period of time to do a task like defuse a bomb. How about a diver game opposite of Jump King? That'd be pretty good too. I will say that rage games could do really well in this jam because the limitation of a countdown is going to naturally make a game like that more intense. Also, my hair is awful right now. Should I like use my headset to like swoop it back? I need a haircut actually. What if I go like this? You see my widow's peak. Yeah. Idea about repairing a rocket for count. That's a cool idea. I like the idea of like. I think if you could do something where the task you're completing in the countdown, a failure state is still funny. I think that'd be awesome. It's difficult because I want to make a game that has that intensity built in, but isn't what's its face? I don't want it to be. I think it's not a bad idea whatsoever. I think my main concern with the idea is just feasibility in 4 days. Like making something that is an ad? Wait. On Twitch. Okay. I'm kind of sad. By the way, I'm kind of sad. Today was. I mean, obviously, I knew that we're gonna get like an initial influx while the algorithm is trying to figure out my placement. You don't have money. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. We'll get there one day. We'll get to the point where we have a bunch of gifters. Someday soon. I need to start. Okay, I need to start doing more stuff on stream. Maybe I started playing like I don't know. I've been debating off topic, very off topic. We're talking about game development, but I've been debating doing stuff like playing scary games on stream, or like just doing the playtesting thing on stream again. gmtk is back out, but yeah, I've been considering like bringing back like playing scary games and also playing like playtesting stuff. I think that's where I shine the most. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm not. You clicked something and it's all different. I have no idea. I'm gonna try something really fast because. So weird. Why can't I see the live on? Yeah, I can't get the live stream on my phone for some reason. Twitch is multi-mode? Yeah, Twitch has multiple things on it right now. So you can actually see the Twitch on the vertical and horizontal formats. Songer's additional idea was a dating sim where the count is down bad. I think dating sims aren't a bad idea. I think the genre has enough like flavor to where you can like really incorporate interesting mechanics into it. It is so JT Gibbs says, what if it's not just repair but also upgrades for rocks and you try to go higher and higher? That could be pretty good. trying to think, because what I'm thinking about for that is like, like if you had a rocket, right? And you're basically trying to like repair it and like throw parts on it. And if you don't get something in time, it's harder to control. That could be pretty good. And I feel like there's like a lot of flavor of like it's like a 15-second countdown, and you have to like quickly bring parts over and stuff like that. I'm almost imagining like what if like you had to like the rocket ship is like over here, like the base shape is over here, and you have like a crane or something to like drag the parts over to the rocket ship. I think that would be pretty good. Because I feel like, you know, because I feel like if it's just drag and drop or like QTEs and so on, that is going to not feel like it'll feel too responsive. You need something to make it finicky and like make it feel like you're actually like fighting against something for the clock. So JT Gibbs is like, okay, is kind of thinking that's the direction. Songer says, what about a pinball game where the ball is Count Dracula? I think the countdown. I think that's too separate because you still need the down aspect. I guess there's gravity, so that kind of counts towards down, but Plinko instead. Plinko's not bad. Plinko's definitely like a good... It is kind of stereotypical for the indie game genre right now. But it is not a bad idea at all. What I'm thinking actually on my end is... What if we did some... What if I did something like... I'm thinking kind of along the lines of like a learn by failure kind of game. Rage game Plinko, lots of things launching you up. You know, okay, hear me out. Here's an idea. I have an idea. What if the game was like a natural disaster kind of sim type game where there's a countdown where you have to like quickly like do stuff to protect people or whatever, right? And then a natural disaster happens, and then you have to like you have another like 10 seconds to prepare for the next natural disaster, and you try to last as long as you can. Kind of dumb ways to die in a way, but less WarioWare and more survival sim. I'm checking on the YouTube because I have. That's just living in Florida. Yeah, fair, very fair. I think a difficult part of that though is reverse incremental game. Okay, you need to elaborate on that. I'm not sure if I follow precisely what you're saying. Number goes up, your goal is to stop and get it to 0. Interesting. I see. Okay, I see the concept. I see the vision. I think that could work. A lot of these ideas, it's all in the implementation. Part of me, okay, so part of me, one thing I will say is I feel like I want to one thing I do really poorly consistently is I don't really tap into like raw culture, pop culture momentum. Like I remember, I think one of the games that was really hot in the last game jam I did, it didn't win, but it was really interesting, got a lot of attention, was the trolley problem game, which again, for obvious reasons, it has a bunch of like, it makes it be like, oh, that's funny. But I'm kind of wondering if there's perhaps something I can do that ties into that. I heard of this and this game sounds interesting because of this whatever aspect. One idea I'm having right now is what if we had like a Russian roulette with time? We call it time roulette. And I can't elaborate. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm just spitting words right now. I genuinely don't even know. That's literally just a concept. But what if like the idea of it was Wait, I spit the words. Now I need to actually explain. Have an idea for it. This feels like slam poetry almost, but game development slam poetry. What would a time roulette look like? Okay, I have an idea, but it's not going to be a good game. I can already tell. What if the concept was, so let's say we had like a 5-second timer, right? My pencil die again? That's annoying. But okay, so what if you had like a 5-second timer and you don't know when something's going to happen, right? But if something does happen, so let's say that something happens here. If you react before it happens, then, or like after, like what if it was like, there's a benefit to reacting right before it happens, right? But if it doesn't happen at all, you die. Like what if we had a thing where it's like part reaction time, part predictive, and like gambling? Vibes of Kirby Samurai minigame. Yeah, kind of like that. Like that, but more Russian roulette gambly vibes. Here's an idea with the gambling theme. You could do an over-under and try to get the under. Say the number is 3 seconds. You have to try to complete a challenge in less than that. The thing about it is, I was looking at previous GMTK jams, and really, the winners thrived on simplicity of concept. So I'm really trying to think what is like the most pure concept that I can really get perfectly done in a very short span of time. I feel like the core concept of whatever I choose has to be like hype and like a one sentence descriptor. If I can get you to be like, wow, that is an idea, in like a sentence or less, I think I got a golden idea. The game is just a timer that counts down. I think one idea I had, and this one is like one where I'm like, maybe it's gonna work. Okay, this is a hear me out idea, right? What if you have to count down, but you no longer use like numbers and stuff? Like, what if the concept is like you have like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 floating around? You got to like put them in order, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But then like, but what if like you have like 5, 2, 1? You got to put in 5, 2, 1. But then what if we have a rule where it's like triangles are 2s? So it's 5 triangle 1. I feel like the way we can make that work is like a trial by error kind of thing, where you try to make it work, and then you get like a the Wordle thing. I feel like the only issue is that might be too simple. Like it might be like someone will look and be like, "Oh, that's kind of dumb," you know? Like there isn't like enough complexity involved there. Songer, me trying to wake up in the morning. Oh, this for the Songer stress idea. I'm going to reread the idea, actually. I read it only in passing. So the concept was you have a timer with a random amount of time and have to turn off the alarm. Each alarm doubles the number of timers. That's interesting. Again, I feel like I want something with like a really strong core loop. Something that like really draws you in some way. Okay, another hear me out idea. What we had in a game where you have to complete a level, but at various times there are rules that you have to follow. So a rule could be, I do think the rocket idea has a pretty good loop. Like what if at 5 seconds you can't be pressing any key? And at 4 seconds you have to be pressing you must be going in the right direction. Like you have to be going right. Or at the 3rd second you can't be touching the ground. Also add could also make a timer inception game with a bomb defuse style logic. Different timers need different deactivating sequences. Rules games are evergreen, just need to be done right. I agree. JT Gibbs is free. Welcome back. Welcome back to the land of the living, JT Gibbs. Countdown. It's such a weird. It's a weirdly open yet closed concept. It's like really difficult, like really. I think it's a good general theme, but it's definitely breaking my brain a little bit. Countdown. It is very well thought out. I'm just going here being like, Just like I'm not like actually like I don't even know. This is rough. This is a hard one. What if it was like you might send the reverse jump king idea. Simple doesn't need crazy art. Okay, I have a really crazy idea. Okay, this is like a really crazy hear me out. Are you ready, guys? What if the idea was you have the numbers, right? So it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you have to draw shapes to like move the letters into the correct spots, or the numbers in the correct spots. So like you want to like make, so you want, when they land at the bottom, they'll be in a countdown order. You can do a Sokoban type thing where you have different directions, numbers follow directions on your thing. I don't know what Sokoban is actually. I gotta look it up. Sokoban. Sokoban isn't bad actually. I like the idea of Sokoban. I feel like a physics-based one though is gonna like be a lot more, because okay, one thing I will note is that in the last video he clearly didn't like. He only gave one top placement seed to a grid-based game. I'm kind of liking this idea actually of like ordering it in via these shape things. I don't think it's bad. I'm wondering if it's too easy. That's my main concern at the moment. It does, it will say it does feel like he likes puzzle games in general. What about its gears? I think gears would work pretty well. I feel like with gears are complicated from a game development perspective. There's no really easy way to use gears. There are so many like technical limitations. Well, I guess it depends on how much of a gear you're using. I just dropped. My hair's kind of staying, well, kind of crazy right now, but how else can we do countdown? Countdown. What's trending right now? Maybe I should go for trending. Maybe trending is the vibe I should be doing. Name things with countdowns, see if inspiration strikes. Boxing match, timer, candle, calendar. Racing reaction. Part of me is like, should I go 3D, but like first person? But I don't think I've ever seen a first person game win. And I don't feel like trying to break the mold right now. Let me see. So we could do. Maybe I should look up like definitions of count. What if there was a game where you literally have to count how many of something there is? Yeah, like counting things, like actually counting. You're not. It's not like counting down specifically. I feel like we're focusing on like the aspect of counting down from something. What if the point was you're counting something in general, or knowing the number of it? Again, I'm making the count sad. That's actually really funny. What about card counting? Would card counting, could he count down in card counting? Would that be something that would be valid for something like this? Or what if it was like music does have counting? Card counting I think is good. Kind of hard to like present that in a game though. What else would work? The issue is none of these ideas have like really like got me excited yet. They're all still kind of just meh. They're like good. Don't get me wrong, they're not like the worst ideas in the world. They're just not like ideas that I'm like, okay, yeah, this idea is ridiculously awesome. Maybe, the book sorting game is trendy. Sorting a number still feels strong to me. I feel like it's trendy for the wrong reasons, though. Like, I don't think that game would have done great in a game jam. I think it's a niche kind of game. Counting is it's such a weird thing to implement in a game, because it's not something that's easily, it's not visually obvious. So Songer is committing to reverse jump king. Okay, I think it's a pretty strong idea. Okay, this idea was done before, but I'm like thinking about it right now. Do you guys know that game where you're like, you have to quickly grab stuff in your house to take it into the nuclear bunker? You have like a couple of seconds and you gotta dive into the nuclear bunker and you gotta like survive based on what he grabbed. What if I went for that? Because I feel like that is like a really strong countdown concept. What if it was like you have like 20 seconds to find shelter? Well, I'm curious if I can actually I can show you that game. The game was called I think 60 seconds. It was a dark comedy type game. Yeah, it's called 60 seconds. Have a good one, Songer. It was good having you. I might not stream for much longer today. I might have to actually get to work. I'm still kind of in the brainstorming phase. The 60-second hero game. I don't know if I saw that game. I'm not able to find it. What if it was... I feel like I keep leaning towards first person, but I feel like that's a trap. I have the worst. Oh god. I have an awful idea. I'm gonna lose. If I do this idea, I'm gonna lose. That's the issue. Okay. Here's the thought. JT Giz, I think you might appreciate this. What if the game was you have like 60 seconds to memorize like a maze or like an area in the dark before your candle goes out, and you have to like escape after memorizing the layout and stuff. I feel like that's gonna lose though. So my idea is, so you have like, you're in a maze, right? Whatever. Basic maze structure thing, right? And you have like 60 seconds to like go around and like explore the area. And then your light goes out and you have to find your way back out of the maze. Maybe like there was like a monster or something, or like something else kind of scary. You would make it more interesting. I don't know. I don't know about this one actually. Yeah, no, I think the concept is intriguing from a bird's eye perspective, but it might not be good enough for like a game jam. Like as a scary game, it could work really well. The issue is I don't think we're gonna get any brownie points for a scary game. I think it'd be better for me to focus on like a mechanic that translates well. I think trying to create something in first person isn't gonna. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a GMTK horror game win. A game where pawn just counts down from 10. That'd be pretty funny. Okay, here's an idea. What if we had a game where you're a robber and you have 30 seconds to rob a house? But like stuff can happen that like makes it more difficult or easier to rob the house. So you get like fate cards. And it'd be like, oh, actually the timer's wrong. You lose 10 seconds. Or it could be something along the lines of oh, you're you can move only half as fast now. I will say I also like the concept of using time as a resource. So you have like 60 seconds and time is ticking down, but you can use like 5 seconds to buy something. The issue is all okay. So these ideas, the main issue with them is that we're gonna get into limitations of how quickly can I create 3-dimensional assets. I think it's gonna be a problem. I think it's not a bigger issue with 3D games because we only have 4 days. I don't have the ability to dedicate a large amount of time to just generating assets and like creating content. Countdown. It's still getting me so stuck. Countdown is... There's got to be a better idea. There has to be something really good in there. My goal is really to have a workable game tonight, which I'll be showcasing tomorrow. Could do the idea of song count Plinko game. I could. I just, for some reason, that idea doesn't really appeal to me, like to me personally. I think it's an okay idea. It just doesn't really like fit to me. I don't think it's gonna fit the theme strong enough. Yeah, no, I'm probably gonna call stream off in a little bit, and we can all get some rest, and maybe we should just sleep and sleep on it, and we'll get work done tomorrow. You know, it'd be really funny. What about like a cowboy shootout type of game? And you go. What if I double dipped into the theme, and we did the shootout itself has a countdown, and there's another countdown for counting your blessings. What about counting sheep? Counting sheep is also pretty. I have a whole minute delay. I don't know what's going. Every single time I try anything new on stream, I feel like the delay gets added on. I think it's because I'm streaming essentially to 5 sort of platforms right now. I'll figure out what's going on at some point. Do appreciate us helping you cement your idea? Of course. I mean, you're helping me cement my idea. I feel like this is why this is the purpose of this exercise, is for us to get the idea down. Something there with counting sheep. I feel like all these ideas are like they have like small like tidbits of a good idea. We're just not like 100% there. 2 hits of a theme is always good. Counting sheep to lay down to sleep, yeah. I don't know. I feel like another concept could be like you're a research scientist having to count stuff in the laboratory. And like there's like a benefit to getting accurate readings. I think I'm gonna hold on. I have some ideas. I'm gonna sleep on it a little bit more. I'm gonna think about it. I might just, and I think tomorrow I might have some prototypes for you to try out and let me know what works, what doesn't, and yeah. I feel like I'm gonna drive myself crazy just like spitballing here. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the stream. I hope this was somewhat useful to everybody. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have an actual game for us to play test and figure out what's going on and everything else. Have a great one, and I will see you guys all soon. Bye-bye, and best of luck on GMTK. May the odds be ever in your favor.